Okay.
Hi, welcome to
Hi.
Brittany's Kitchen.
Yeah. I forgot to marinate the steaks. We're not going to tell my husband that I didn't do this morning.
But he will
He won't
listen
even
to
tell the
this
difference.
later, so don't
Won't
worry.
tell the
He will
difference.
find out.
It'll be fine.
He'll be fine. You have plenty of time.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now we are going to talk about an update on our family, and it is on Max, HBO Max. And it is about a little boy named Huxley who was adopted
Oh,
from China. He so basically what I got from that whole documentary was that people that are adopted from different countries, the reason why they're even given up for adoption is because they have medical problems or medical needs that the parents can't physically help them with. So they think if they go to America or if they go to any other place that could potentially help their child, they're doing a great service to their child, which
right.
they probably are. And that's kind of like what happened with the whole Natalia Grace thing as well. Um, but this one is about a little boy named Huxley. And Huxley, it's a three-part series on HBO. Um, it
It's
just premiered in
heartbreaking.
January 15th. So we had to wait to get the stuff released. It's about a YouTube mom named Myka and her husband, James Stauffer. They had numerous kids together, like five, right?
Ye
Ish,
yes.
4 or 5.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. I should
they,
remember.
yeah, you just watched it, but it's not that big a
I
deal.
literally watched it last night.
Yeah. It's not that big of a deal because it's not about the other children. It was about all the children, and then it literally went to her adoption, and that's what they
Right.
focused on was her adoption, um, with Huxley. So he was the
Yeah.
main person, kind of like how Chad was in the Ruby Frankie one.
Right.
Um, the Stauffers gain online fame by sharing their family on YouTube channel, and then documenting their adoption with Huxley from China in 2017. Huxley was later diagnosed with autism and ADHD in 2020, and the couple had announced that they placed him with another family better to equip his family needs.
Oh,
I
gosh. I feel
I
like I can play devil's advocate both ways.
totally like I can see how if it's just too
Oh,
much and you bit too much off, you don't get their medical records before you adopt,
right.
first of all. So it's not like finding out, oh, the dog's dog aggressive. How would you know
Right.
that unless they told you that? You don't know until it's actually finalized.
I think that I will be more so knocking the fact that she decided, not she, they decided to put everything about Huxley out there for the
Yeah,
world to see and judge and whatever.
they
And then
forgot why they were doing it. Yeah,
And then they realized, oops, we can't handle this child. It's like, could you not? Or were you focusing kind of like Ruby Frankie? Were you not able to take care of all your kids and not pawn them off on the older ones?
right?
Or were you
Maybe.
focusing on this freaking
Yeah.
videoing, the YouTube channels and whatever?
Because people are asking what's going on with Huxley, what's going on with
Right.
Huxley, and like that's how they took off, and that's how they got their sponsorship, and that's how they were making money,
Which is
and
also
that's.
crazy because it's like Huxley didn't see a dime of that money, you know dang well.
I mean, as a child, we've talked about this. They're not supposed to see the money; they're just supposed to be taken care of. I mean, obviously, if you're a main character, you should be at least putting some money aside. Bottom
Right.
line.
Like that, yeah.
But children shouldn't have to pay their parents' rent at it
Right.
as a child, and that's under 18 legally, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And children shouldn't be given money for, cleaning up their toys, you know?
Yeah. I don't
It's
know.
hard.
I'm not there
It,
yet.
I'm not there yet either. I'm
I'm
like,
like,
do I want to
eh,
pay her? No, I don't
I think
actually.
it'll be obviously like it's one thing cleaning up your room. Like you need to know, you need to do that without being paid. Like
Totally.
I
That's
think
just part
like
of your
running
daily,
stores and jobs.
yeah. What can I do to make money? And that's when you
Right.
have the opportunity to say, okay, let's clean out some of the garage stuff if
That's
you
when
help me
he's
do
gonna do
that.
my weeding
There you go.
from the
Yeah.
garden.
10 cents per weed. That's
Right.
perfect. You know? I
I
mean,
could
it
work with
just,
that.
yeah, right? You're welcome. I should get royalty cash.
Right?
And Cash is her son's name, not, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, anyways, um, so then they didn't do it the right way, and they didn't just admit to it. Um, they did,
They
however,
tried
they put
hiding.
out a statement and they said what happened because everyone was noticing. I mean, you have videos, everyone can go back and be like, oh, well, there's
I mean,
no
yeah,
car
when you have
seat.
a whole channel focused on
Yeah.
this adoption of this child and
Which
then
it
all these
wasn't,
videos
that's
about
not how it started. That's not how
no,
it
but it
started.
turned into that.
Yes. So,
Like they gained a lot of followers that were only there for that.
yes. But
Yeah.
um, as far as we know, Huxley is happy and adjusting well with his new family.
Yeah.
And um, it's
I'm not gonna lie, yesterday I almost turned it off at the point where I realized he was 3. My son is 3, and he was not happy and he was crying, leaving the foster parent. And I'm like, that hurts my heart so much because,
uh,
like, my son is well aware of what's going on. Like, I can't imagine him being bonded to someone.
you and you being gone. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God,
Yeah.
killed my
Yeah.
heart. And then to find out that it wasn't a good match, and I'm trying not to judge, but
But
so he's like being re-traumatized.
do you
Like,
remember the other mom, the last
yes,
mom? And she was
yeah,
like, I've been in that situation. It's easier to judge when you're not in that situation.
yeah.
Um,
Which is why I'm trying not to judge.
it's very easy to judge, be like, "Ah, I
Oh
can't believe
yeah.
you just give up." It's a struggle daily.
Oh
Every
yeah.
day it's a struggle.
I think people forget that what's on camera is a highlight reel.
Basically, yeah. And
And,
it's not
you know,
reality.
like, because they did talk about having comments over and over again about how people were like, it doesn't seem like that bad. And it's like, well, yeah, they're not going to record craziness. Like,
I mean,
you know,
she clearly loved being a mom. None of her children showed any signs of abuse. They looked like they
I
came
was
from a
very
very
confused
loving,
where it was going at first because I was
exactly,
like,
me
she
too.
seems lovely.
Yeah, she
Like,
seems totally down to earth, and it's about her, and it's about the pregnancy newses, and it's about
yeah,
them making their family work, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I
yeah,
don't know. I know as a bio mom for Owen, I asked specifically, well, what if something happens to you guys? And
yeah,
Sarah, the mom, told me, the adoptive mom told me her plan. And I accepted that plan. I didn't have to, but I said, that's a
yeah,
really good thought out process. I love it. So if
yeah,
something happened to her or her husband, I know where my son's going,
right.
bottom line. And
Yeah,
I didn't want to think of that, but I had to at that moment. Like,
yeah.
what if something happens?
There is a lot of thinking that goes into it. It's,
Totally. It's the hardest thing ever. And I'm really glad that that mom did say, you if you haven't been there, you don't know.
yeah.
You don't know.
And I mean, I also get the adoptee girl that was in there. I forget her
Yeah.
name. I apologize. But I get she's
The
like,
one with the
what do you mean it
tattoos and
wasn't
the
a good
blonde
fit?
streaks.
Yes.
Yes.
She's
Because
like,
she
what do
was
you mean
also
it's not a
adopted.
good fit? And I'm
Yeah.
like, I do get that side of it too, because it's like you didn't buy a puppy that just like started biting or so, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like it's a human
It's a human with
and it's like
emotions
who has already gone through lots of trauma through this
Mhm.
adoption and then
And
essentially
foster
has to do it
care.
again.
And yep.
Right. Like he literally like adapted to foster care and then was ripped out of that, somewhat adapted to this family and then ripped out of that. It's like this poor kid, oh, just kills my heart.
I
But
think therapy is going to be in that child's best interest and for a while,
for sure.
unfortunately. And hopefully he was young enough where he doesn't remember a lot of the trauma.
Maybe not remember it, but I don't think that our bodies forget it. Like,
No.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just
Yeah.
suppressed.
Yeah.
So the poor kid, I just feel like he has so much. But I
Yeah.
did like at the end of that where she was like, I kind of have peace not knowing where he's at and what he's
Yeah.
doing because his life was so public for so long.
Yeah.
And
And
I
he
was
didn't
like,
have a choice. He didn't get a
yeah,
choice.
I was thinking like, you know what? I'm really nosy and I would like to know that he's okay and whatever,
I
but
have
I
definitely
can
looked up
appreciate
where
that
is
answer.
Huxley. Yes. I looked up where is Huxley 2025 and I didn't get any answers. That's made me happy. So I
Yeah,
left it alone.
yeah,
It it's very easy to find out, well, what happened? What happened? What happened?
yeah.
But sometimes you don't need to know. It's not your story.
At least we know that whoever his parents are now is keeping his privacy.
Yep. And
And that's
they're willing to do whatever it takes to keep it that
right.
way. And I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
It's everyone every parent gets their own decision what they want to do.
yeah,
And you chose your way and I chose my way and we're doing similar but different things all the time.
yep,
I love it.
for
Um,
sure.
I definitely had like a choking up moment in that because with I can't remember her name either, but the one with the blonde streaks in her hair and the tattoos,
Yeah.
and just hearing her like backstory, and then the other mom who was going through infertility. Oh my goodness. Say the
In
word.
in vitro? In
Yes.
vitro? In vitro.
Infertility. There it
In
is. Jesus. My
We're
bad.
not this dumb.
No. It's when you get a word stuck in your head and you just keep saying it wrong
Yeah.
and you're like, I'm just butchering it even more. I need to restart, but it's still going on. That's just happened. Anyways, I um
I'm
I
here.
feel bad for those kids that got promised certain things and
Yeah.
didn't get them.
It's honestly heartbreaking. I like I feel like you're always seeing adoption as, and they said it in that, as like a positive thing, which it is,
Yeah,
but you don't recognize or see the trauma behind it. Like,
no,
like I don't know.
I don't know either.
A 3-year-old knows enough, but also doesn't know
Anything.
hardly anything.
Yeah,
So it's like, imagine the confusion. I just am like looking at my kid and being like,
yeah,
I cannot
yeah,
fathom him having to go through that. Like, I would just die.
yeah. Well, I mean, if this does help you feel better, when he was put into care, it was earlier, so he probably doesn't remember that. And
That's
I,
why it hurt my heart that he was taken out of that foster care. Like, I just like, and I get foster parents, they can't just adopt every kid that they get. But I'm like, oh my gosh, please just, they
and
should
that
have
wasn't the point. Like the point for him was for him to go to a country that could help him with his medical needs.
right. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's rough. But you know what? That makes me really sad because that's two children that were adopted from different countries that got, well, Natalia Grace was a whole different tortured poor child moment. That's just
Yeah.
absolutely crazy. And
Yeah.
then Huxley, his story isn't done, but um, hopefully he has the best life because
Yes,
that's
I
what
hope.
every kid deserves.
Yeah. Ugh,
The best life.
that
I
poor
know.
baby.
I know. Ugh, poor guy. But next, we're going to talk about Girl in the Picture. It came out in like 2020-ish,
Yeah.
and it was a Netflix movie. So hopefully you guys watched it, but we're going to rehash on that crazy shit right next.
Yeah.
So bear with us. We'll be right back.